One of the best things about the new Superman film is the novelty we've gotten over the past few weeks in the marketing campaign. I truly believe that it was the key factor in changing the somewhat rotten and monotonous perspective constantly overruling the general audience and CBN fans' thoughts on Superman as a character. I say this to say the discourse online is truly mesmerizing regarding that. Regardless, it brings me to my point. If you have been living under a rock or haven't just noticed that Superman has been really the talk of the town, it will be a big game changer for the DCU and the superhero movie landscape. Here are two key reasons why I think Superman will become a huge success for the DCU. James Gunn. Of course, it's easy to just mock Gunn for the over-exaggerated comedic chops, maybe for some overwhelming at times moments in the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy or even the Suicide Squad. But one must notice how he's currently the perfect seasoned filmmaker for this directing job. His MCU repertoire did not just have low points, it included particular aspects that differentiated him from other lighthearted MCU entries at the time. Deadpool had not even started filming when the Guardians became remembered as a family-centric classic. A film that made you care about every single character and the mysterious flawed humanity each and every member had, providing a smooth transition into the other two films, where we are more acquainted and at ease with the characters, and that translates into the near universal appreciation of that on-screen chemistry. Now it is fair to say that for some, the MCU's intermingle with the trilogy story due to Infinity War and Endgame cannot be a valid criticism for how Star-Lord and Gamora, for example, ended up. Still, Gunn has been in these grounds and knows the premises of a shared universe more than anyone. The choice for him to become the DC Studios co-leader alongside Peter Safran and his architecture can prove to be a marvelous choice in the long run. He meticulously chose Superman, a standard hero, to unravel the new chapter of the company in cinemas. Creating groups such as the Justice Gang and already established Superman and Metropolis, as well as the Daily Planet supporting cast, Gunn is really adhering to the latest trend in superhero films of refusing to tell an origin story for an already known character.
They chose him!
First predictions for the domestic opening weekend are positive, with a range of $140 to $185 million set to be the kickoff for the film's US run. However, it's important to see whether it can sustain word of mouth. Me personally, I still don't know if it'll hit $1 billion. It can surely at this stage overperform hits like Venom and The Batman, or even be close like the Doctor Strange sequel. This is just, talking about solo movies as a whole. My feeling is that it will beat the Fantastic Four at the box office. And I don't really like to put Jurassic World on this category, as it's a franchise that normally, always finds overseas appeal. It can hit $1 billion pretty easily if it has, legs on the first 2-3 weeks of its theatrical release. But despite the outcome, DC Studios can be proud of their marketing campaign. From TikTok videos showing us more of the characters without releasing clips on Good Morning America or other talk shows at this stage of the marketing campaign, or for example some random Daily Planet interactions and scenes, the appeal of Superman and Lex Luthor's comic book accurate relationship in a TV spots, and even the Peacemaker trailer for season 2 showing the early bits of interconnectivity, I believe that they really built a pretty strong case to convince the general audience of the tone of this film, not built on the recently flawed conventions and discourse of homework to understand the cinematic universe. Perhaps a new start is exactly what audiences need in order to fully grasp and get immersed in this new DC landscape. Sure, F4 is also set in an adjacent but separate universe to the main 616 MCU. But the Marvel brand has unfortunately been tainted with these recent mishaps that time will truly tell how it's gonna go. And I also wanted to add this to this train of thought that is clear that maybe some recency bias can shift people's opinions on who becomes victor at the end of this summer theatrical battle. After the F4 second trailer and the NBA Finals clips, people are now drifting towards Superman's momentum. Before that, people were just swarming comment sections. For example, James Gunn on Threads telling him to wake up, that they need to actually fight the evil. All in all, Superman is said to be this summer's biggest event. And with these reasons, I'm confident that the hype behind the 2 hours and 9 minutes that Gunn has provided us with will ultimately live up. I'm really going to do a video on my predictions on the Avengers lineup next, as I've seen that the discourse and ongoing rumors have dwindled a bit for Doomsday. Please leave a comment on what you want to see on that as well as what's up next.